What up, everybody? It is your main man, Cletus Cassidy. Welcome to See You in the Morning, man. This is my horrible idea to get up in the morning and express to y'all all the things that are going on in my life, man. Welcome. If this is your first time hearing this, you are about to experience something so cold. If you are a returning viewer, man, thank you so much for coming back, man. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me, and I appreciate it. What we doing today, man, it's finna be abbreviated. I got a flight to catch right now. I am in Detroit. Well, I'm in Detroit-esque. I'm Detroit-ish this morning, right outside of Detroit in Auburn Hills, where the Pistons used to play. Apparently, the Lions used to play out here too. So Auburn Hills is important in sports history of Detroit. So I'm right out here in Auburn Hills. I got a plane to catch in a little while, but I said let's be consistent. Let's give the people what they think they may want. Let's give the people what they think they may want. Y'all think y'all might want the show. I'm not sure if y'all do, but we're here, and I'm going to get out of here. So real quick, man, if y'all know how this show starts, I start off by speaking to everybody that decides to speak to me. Light crowd today because it's a holiday. I know y'all sleeping in. Y'all ain't had no reason to get up this morning. I didn't either, but for those of y'all who did, persevere, press on through the mark. Thank y'all so much. I'm gonna go ahead and shout y'all out. Winning the bronze medal this morning is Thea O'Neal. Good morning, Thea. Wonderful television show. She's an amazing actress. Crystal Tasty Panel wins the silver. Good morning, Crystal. And Kim Cat Thomas Jones, right back where she belongs, right there, gold medal winning. Appreciate you for all you do. Good morning, Lynette Smith, Dolores Lewis, Crystal Peel, and Tanya Maxwell. And see, that's it. That's it. It's a short morning this morning. Ain't nobody in here. So quick recap of the weekend. I done came out here to what up though, JP. I done came out here to Detroit. And it's crazy that JP would be on here today. Jay Pearson is in here as Detroit representative. This guy's all Michigan all the time. Immediately came on the link when we talked. And what I don't appreciate about him, and let me just be very clear about JP. JP is a person that I call friend. Very short list of friends I have. My friends list is midgets with no legs. It's a very short list. My friends list can't reach the top shelf. My associates list, however, man, that's long. That is longer. That is longer than a porn star's penis. It is long. You understand what I'm saying? That thing, it's out there. All right. It is longer than Tony Everett. You understand? It's long. It's longer than summer school. It's longer than detention on the last day of school. So my social list is long. JP, I consider a friend. However, good morning, Nicole Lewis and Bostic, man. Merry birthday to you. I'm a little bit late. Good morning, Jana. She's on her way to speaking of porn penis, good morning, Jana. She's getting ready to get married. She'll enjoy all the penis that she likes. But that's not why we're here. We'll discuss other people and penis. We're here to discuss JP didn't warn me about Detroit. If you know anything about Detroit, there's certain places and things that you shouldn't go to. I told my friend that I was going to his hometown. He just told me have a good time. That's not what you do. If somebody tells me, hey man, I'm getting ready to go on a trip to Portsmouth, I'm going to tell them, don't go here, don't go there, do this, do that. Not just have a good time. You know, I told him I was going, and he was pretty much like, well, God be with you. Knowing that Detroit got some issues. And I'm the type of person that'll go anywhere. I will get to your city. I will just go for a walk. I will be anywhere at any time. You never know where I'll be when I go to your city. And you know a city is rough. I had a driver for the weekend. Don't make it weird. All right. I had the driver. The driver was great, came pick us up in a Bentley. The Bentley was nice. I wouldn't personally have bought it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wouldn't have personally. I think it was just a Kia, and you had put B's on it. To me, the Bentley that we had, it just wasn't worth the effort. You know, I'm sure Bentleys are worth it overall, but for me, it was real regular. The vehicle was real regular. It didn't give me what I want. Tomorrow we'll do some stuff. I'll go over what the vehicle was, but picked us up, he drove. They started giving me simple stuff. You know, your city is rough, and people be like, don't go to Brightmoor. Don't find yourself down there. People go, they disappear and down there. Kim Cat said, I'm from Detroit. You got to be careful. They were like, don't go to Brightmoor. Then they was also like, don't go to the east side. Now here's the problem. My fault. They were like, don't go to the east side. Now here's the problem when you make a statement like, don't go to the east side. How do I know I'm in the east? I had no idea which side. There's no signs up in any city that says south side, north side, west side. You just happen to be there. How do I know when I cross in the east? How do I know I'm no longer west? Now, from what I understand, if you ever seen the movie 8 Mile that Eminem is on, 8 Mile divides the good and the bad of Detroit. On one side of 8 Mile, you all right. The other side of 8 Mile, just kiss your mama goodbye. You in the wrong part of town. But nobody tells you these things. 8 Mile is about 8, 9, 10 miles long. So you don't know whether to go to the left or to the right. You don't know where to go. You just be lost. You just out here. You just in these streets. And nobody tells you that. How do you know? They're like, don't go to Brightmoor. Are there signs that say Brightmoor? Does the interstate say Brightmoor this way? How do I know I'm in Brightmoor? How do I know I'm in the east side? Isn't there something called the red line or the red district? I always thought the red district was somewhere beautiful to go. Apparently, not in Detroit. In Detroit, you go in that area, you're liable to come up missing. You're liable to milk box yourself. Don't become a milk carton participant, is what they were trying to tell you. So we ended up in downtown Detroit, beautiful area. Now, I just did Cleveland. And so downtown Cleveland, beautiful place. It needs to be pressure washed. Downtown Detroit, beautiful place. Seems like somebody's cleaned it a little bit. They didn't do any deep cleaning. I think it's still waiting on the spring clean, but somebody has gone in and cleaned it a little bit. They've cleaned it somewhat. So we went to Mike Epps' spot. I know y'all familiar with Mike Epps, amazing actor, been in a lot of great films. Mike Epps has his own club now. It's called One Mike. He does have a couple of partners in the experience, but it's called One Mike, and it is great. It is one of the most beautiful places. When I get back, I'm gonna show y'all pictures tomorrow. My pictures ain't upload to my computer because no, I didn't drink the water. No, sir. I got 30 bottles of water. If y'all can see my hotel room right now, I got so many water bottles in here. It's crazy. It's called One Mic. It's fantastic. It's got a restaurant in it. Then it's got a bar, which is separate from the restaurant. And the restaurant is separated from the bar by a cereal bar. Y'all got to see the pictures. They said they got, I think they said 70 different types of cereal. You can go in and get 70 different types of cereal, whatever kind of cereal you want. It's a smoker's paradise. They did it at the right time. They waited till weed got legal in Detroit, which I think is probably a issue you probably shouldn't do. But hey, who am I to judge? They got plenty of judges that'll do that. It's got a cereal bar and it's got a regular bar. The regular bar is made up like Pinkies from Friday. So all the chairs got Day on them. They pink. The waitresses wear like pinky shirts. It's so dope. Then it used to be a bowling alley, so now they're taking the bowling alley part, they're tearing that up, and that's going to have the comedy club in it. Comedy club's going to hold like 300 people. That's going to be great. Then the second level is going to be a completely different. It's going to have its own entrance, private entrance, and it's going to be a whole club to its own, members only club, and it's going to be called Onyx, like the color black. So Onyx is gonna be the name of the club. It's gonna be members only, and they're gonna do amazing stuff. Like when you get your membership, they're gonna find out what type of liquor you like, what type of food you like. So if you call and be like, "Hey, I'm coming," they'll be like, "Hey, all right, Mr. Cassidy, we'll make sure that we have a bottle of Jim Beam, whatever, blah 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 that you drink." No, then they won't have Jim Beam. They won't have Jim Beam because the Jim Beam is made by white people. The liquor that they're gonna have in that establishment is gonna be all black and brown people. So all black and brown people will be whose liquor they use up there. I already reached out to a black and brown person I know that does gin. I already reached out to them and was like, "Yo, Mike Epps Club, you got to get your gin in here. Get your gin in here. I don't care about your juice, but get your gin in here." Now that's where I think we're gonna have to draw the line. It's gonna be all spirits with black and brown people. It's gonna be all we make the liquor, but who's gonna make the mixers? Who's gonna make the mixers? That's my question. So those were a lot of the Those were a lot of the warnings I got. We went there. That was great. We then went to a clothing store. Now, if y'all don't know, I was out with Michael Collier. Michael Collier is old enough to be my dad. Like literally, Michael is 66 years old. He's old enough to have met up with my mama, popped that thing, and I would have been born. He's old enough, and at times he does stuff that would be my dad-ish. We went to a suit store looking at suits. First of all, I've never in my days. I'm not that old yet. I ain't that old. I'm like, let's go find us a suit store and look at some suits. And I never look at suits in my leisure time. I've never been a leisure suit looker. A leisure is not my thing. Now, apparently in Detroit is a city for peacocks. You know, apparently the men in Detroit like their colors. If they finna put on something, it's finna be colorful. We went in that suit store. The variety of colors for suits was ridiculous. Michael tried to get me to get a suit. He was like, man, it was all pimp suits. Pimps live in Detroit. Michael was like, man, get this suit right here. Now he was talking about the one in the green. Both suits are atrocious. Let's be honest. Both suits are atrocious. But if I had to put that green one on, I'd have looked like a soccer field. I don't have a desire to ever become a soccer field. I believe if I had to put that suit on, little Mexican children would have tried to play a game on my back. There's absolutely no way that I put that on. It's not something that I desire to do. But Mike was like, you got to do it. And I couldn't. I couldn't. Mike even said to me, he said, hey, man, it's Father's Day coming up. Man, you can go through there and pick any suit that you want. Any suit, not suit, I'm sorry, any shirt that you want. And get whatever shirt you want. And I was like, unfortunately, I'm out of here and I couldn't get any of them. If y'all could see from this picture, man, that's the cereal bar in Mike Epps' restaurant, which was beautiful. It's got cereal. I know I said I was going to show y'all tomorrow, but I'll just be ghetto and show y'all today. Let me show y'all the bar part. The bar part is Day Days. So y'all remember who Day Day is. So that was that third part. Day Day got all the pink chairs. Everything says Day Day on the back. It was really, really nice. That was really nice. But then, after all that niceness, there was this. What makes you think that I'm finna put that on? As wide back as I am, I can't put on nothing like that. I look like a field of dreams. I'm not doing it. He was like, man, it's gonna be so cold. You put that green suit on, man, you're gonna wear the hell out of that. I was like, I'm not. I'm returning it to hell. If I put that on, that's where I'm going. I'm going directly to the pit. The fiery furnace is where I'm gonna go. If y'all can see this was just a dope mural they had on the wall of Stevie Wonder. That's my dude. You know, I got excited. I really, until I looked at this mural, and I think I had noticed it before, Stevie Wonder got a lot of gums. I don't know if it's the loss of sight or whatever. He got a lot of gums. I always worry about people with that much gummage. He got a lot of like his gums are extensive. I don't know if that helps him sing or if he just got maybe he got regular gums and short lips. But Steve got a lot of gums in that picture. I never noticed the amount of gummage that Stevie had before. It's a lot of gums, Stevie. A lot of gums for a blind man. And he don't know that he got a lot of gums. He probably was walking around in his mind thinking that everybody got the same amount of gums as him. But that's just not the case. Steve, you have extensive gummage. And I'm going to show y'all. There's my driver right there with the Bentley. And I told you, that was a Kia. To me, that's a fancy Mitsubishi, a Hyundai, but it's got bees on it. So you gotta love those. Um, my last point is, and we was at the beautiful flag something. That was me from backstage. You couldn't see the whole thing. I just walked out, took a half a picture because it had a patio thing up top, like the Apollo, and I had a nice room. It was a lot happening. But what I do want to say is, Detroit warned you about. Nobody warned me about the areas of Detroit to go in and not go in. Nobody warned me about that. But what they did warn me about, and I've never had to do comedy with a warning. What they did warn me about was they said Detroit is very loyal. If they love you in Detroit, they love you in Detroit. There, you can't talk about Detroitians in Detroit. They say you can talk about anybody you want to, though, and you can get away with it. Some people in Detroit, I talk about Kwame Kilpatrick, they didn't care. I talked about a few other people in Detroit, but they say the only person you can't talk about in Detroit, you can destroy Jesus if you want to. If you want to get on stage and talk bad about Jesus, feel free. Because he really from Jerusalem. He really from Bethlehem. He ain't really from here. He ain't really from Detroit. We love him, but he ain't from here. But they told me in no uncertain terms, you can't talk about Anita Baker. Your whole show can go all the way downhill with words about Anita Baker. They're like, if you even think about saying something negative about Anita Baker, get the thoughts out of your head right now. Detroit don't play about Anita Baker. Anita Baker is God. You talk about anybody, even the white people, like, hey man, you've crossed the line. Blacks hold Anita Baker dear. But the whites, they were like, no, even the whites, they were like, don't talk about Anita. I was like, that's crazy. Anita Baker, don't talk about Anita Baker. That's crazy. Last thing, man, because now I gotta go get on this flight. And I talk about a lot of stuff. I fly a lot. Y'all know I fly a lot. I fly out. I fly back home today. Wednesday, I fly right back out to New Orleans. And then right after that, I fly out to Orlando. Like, I fly a lot. I frequently fly. My miles are frequent as a flyer. And I pray for little stuff. People always be like, hey, man, be safe on the plane. I'm like, I'm not the one flying it. I don't know why y'all telling me to be safe. Tell the pilot. Call him. Tell him to be safe. All I do is sit here. I have absolutely no control over what happens with that plane. Unless you're talking about the snack cart, that's the only thing I got to be safe with. And I am safe with the snack cart. I never get the coffee. I just think it's dangerous because you don't know when the turbulence is going. You don't want to be Michael J. Fox in your coffee. So I just try to, not get coffee. That's the only safety that I have. So I kind of pray a little bit when I get on, man. My pastor, my bishop, he always had a good thing. Bless the pilot, bless the plane, send forth angels in Jesus' name. You just do that. Something about Jesus and angels, dispatching angels with the plane. Something. It's a little safety riddle that he does whenever they fly. And I liked it. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. Our safety riddle before I get on a plane. So I'd be like, yo, Lord, let's go, man, dog. Let's take off. Let's land. Everybody be safe. That'd be my whole thing, right? I'm gonna have to start changing my prayer for planes. I don't usually pray about who's on the plane. I just be like, let it fly. But on my flight over, and I'm discussing this. We had to stop in Washington D.C. And Washington D.C. is a melting pot. It's filled of people of all types of nationalities, races, and creeds. That's it. God the pilot, God the plane. Angels go forth in Jesus' name. Thank you, Delisa. She's heard my bishop say it. I knew it had something about angels and pilots. I say that prayer all the time. But we stopped in D.C. of Washington, and we picked up some passengers there. And different people have different religions. And some religions believe in certain things. Some cultures believe in certain things. We call it a culture. There's a culture that doesn't believe in antiperspirant or deodorant. Some people just don't do it. Some people have gone with natural deodorant. And let me just tell you something. Your body has to be ready for natural deodorant. If you got a certain body composition, sometimes you can't do natural deodorant. You got to go ahead and risk cancer. You got to put that aluminum in your system because everybody can't go with natural. But some people go with none at all. Some people go with a none at all approach, and it don't always work. And if we can be honest, then the none at all is not what you want. And there was a group of individuals, and they stay heavily dressed. They put on a lot of clothes. They put on lots of garments, robes and overrobes and stuff and turbans. They put on a lot of clothes to not believe in deodorant. And they got on a plane and they announced themselves. They announced themselves when they got on that plane. When they got on that plane, we knew they were there. They funk led before they got on. They natural musk hit us quick. I was on row 21. That musk hit row 1, and it was like, I'm here. That's what that musk came in like that. That musk won't play no games. That musk that was provided, it was amazing. And I don't think I've ever sat in my and I lost a lot of self-confidence. I really thought about 7, 8 times I smelled me. I went over my morning routine. I was like, did I wash? Yeah, wash. Did I put on? I went through all of it. I thought I had become insta funky. I never, if you're gonna be funky, I believe take your time and get there. Don't ever rush your funk. I believe that I got insta funk. I kept checking. There was a guy beside me. I kind of leaned towards him just to see maybe that was him that was bringing that. But nope, they hit us on row 1. That funk came before them. And I've never had somebody's funk stop and be like, do you mind if I sit here? That funk came through and was gracious to everybody in the area. They were like, hey, just want y'all to know I'm going to be here. All right. Get used to me. Just adjust yourself. That's what the funk did. The funk was like, hey, nice to meet you. Hey, seat A, window seat, cool. I'm not going to go out the window. I'm going to stay here. Everybody, hey, we're all in this together. And I was like, oh no. Oh no, why? Why me, Lord? I've never, and then they had Captain Planet Funk. Because it would have been all right if just one of them was funky by themselves. But all their funkies came together and was like, y'all ready? Captain Funky, he's a hero. And they all connected and they were like, no water, no wind, no earth. And they came together and those funks hit, all those different funks was having a funk battle and it hit my nose. And I don't get air sick, but funk sick, I get funk sick. That funk hit me and it did something to me. And you ever notice something else that was funky and you wanted to turn to other people and you could see other people could smell the funk, but they was afraid of being labeled, you know? You wanted to say something, but you couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like you wanted to say something, but I wanted to be like, but what about the baby? Like that's how I felt. I'm like, but what about the funk? Did they pay extra to be that funky on the plane? That was my question. I just wanted to know, is there like, do they take money off? Do they take a few bills off if you don't shower first? I showered this morning, so I don't know if they're gonna charge me extra for that. But I do know they funks connect. Don't let them think that funk won't come together. And the whole time I'm just like, I can't talk about Anita Baker. Like that's where I had to take myself. My mind had to go to just like, no, Anita Baker. Don't talk about Anita Baker. That's all I could think of in that moment. And that's all I could think of. Man, I'll get ready to get out of here, man. Go try to catch this plane. I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm staying in the Embassy Suites. If y'all ever stay in it's the way to go for hotel breakfasts. Even if I stay in a hotel that's not an Embassy Suites, if it's an Embassy Suites next door, I come over and eat breakfast there. Embassy Suites, best hotel breakfast down, hands down. Hands down. Omelet Station, waffles, hands down. Nobody beats Embassy Suites for their breakfast. I suggest the Embassy Suites. I sometimes listen every now and again if I'm just driving through and I'm running late and I don't really have the cash that I thought I was gonna have, I just go to Embassy Suites. They can't tell whether or not you stay in there. Just walk in, grab you something to eat. If you walk in there like you belong there, they won't say a word to you. Speak to the front desk people when you walk by. Hey, good morning, Charles, Kathy. That ain't their names, but just throw it out there like it is. Hey, good morning, guys. How are y'all? Hey, another great day. Walk by them, walk right into the breakfast area, grab you a plate, and eat. They'll never know. They will never know. It'll be great. It'll be a great time. You can win that way. Trust me. I've done it before. All right, I'm out, man. Today, of course, is Monday. It's Juneteenth. Man, celebrate today, man. Today is the day that everybody found out that they was free. I don't know how it felt to have been a slave in Texas and found out somebody was like, Hey, hey there, Jimmy Lee. What? You ain't heard? We been in my we've been let free. We've been let free. And you be like, what you mean we's free? We's free, Jimmy Lee. We ain't got to wear these chains. We ain't got to pick nothing. We ain't got no master no more. What you mean we ain't got no master? We can go. We can be free to roam the land of Texas and build us our own. They be like, man, we's free. Yeah. And then you get all excited because you meet somebody from the next state over, and then you be like, you want to tell them, you be like, hey, hey, there, Rudy. Hey, Rudy. Hey, Rudy, we're free. And Rudy's like, we've been free for the last 2 years. I would have went back and whooped my master's hump out. I would have got my 2 years late. I would have got my 2 years back. Ain't no way you gonna have me 2 years later. Everybody else got their freedom, and here we go 2 years later. I don't get mine till two. They deserve reparation. Now, if anybody deserves reparations, is the families of the slaves in Texas that had to do an extra 2 years. If you had to do that extra 2 years, you deserve something. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm trying to figure out why the person in the room next to me is playing music loud. And if I start banging on the wall, they're gonna think I'm crazy. And so what I would do is I would just bang on the wall and make sex noises. That's what I would do. I just be on the wall, just be there, oh, yes. But I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna fight fire with fire. I'm not gonna be evil. I ain't gonna be evil, but I feel like it. I feel like it. So enjoy. Juneteenth is now a federal holiday. I don't think they wanted to give everybody the federal holiday, but I think they did it just to appease people, and it's okay. If the only reason we got it is for people to be appeased, I don't care. Oh, I don't care, Christina. They drown out other noises. I give them the same noise right back. That's what I do. Listen, if I hear you in your room in the throes of passion, if I'm staying in a hotel and when the walls is that thin and I can hear you in the throes of passion, I'm gonna rate your performance and leave a sticky note on your door. I'll be like, hey man, last night, 8 out of 10. Good work, guys. Well done. I'm gonna leave him a note. Hey man, you went a little long. Shorten up. Leave a note on there. I just feel like when I lose my virginity, if I had to do it in a hotel, I'm gonna add noises just cause I know people might be judging me next door. So if I ever meet a young lady that feels like going and let me into the holiest of holies in a hotel, I just want her to know I'm gonna just be making extra noise just cause I know the people next door will be judging. So long after we finish, I'ma still be in there. You like that? Huh? Whose is it? No, I'm just trying to make sure it's mine. Okay, it's me. Cool. Whose? Yes. What's my name? And you ask those questions to make sure she hasn't branched off and started fantasizing about somebody else. Ladies, y'all think that turns us on. That's not what it is. We're trying to make sure that mentally you're still having sex with us. That's the only reason men ask those questions. It ain't got nothing to do. It's not sexy. We already know who, it's only yours for the moment. Eventually it'll be somebody else's, but for that moment, it's like a lease. You lease to own it. You never own it. You wanna think you own it, but you only leasing it. And so you in there and you working hard, and you just gotta make sure she's still thinking about you. Because I think sometimes women will branch off and pretend that they with Idris Elba. So you just gotta go and you just gotta shock her. Ask her at weird times. Ask her questions at weird times. Be like, hey, whose is it? And she'll be like, oh shoot, yours. Then you gotta ask a follow-up question. What's my name? That's the one that throws her off. And don't let her act like she was moaning so she couldn't answer. She took her time because she had to remember who she was with for that moment. You be like, what's my name? Say my name. And she'll be like, oh. Yeah, that's how it goes. Oh. See, she does all them O's. She's trying to remember your name. Oh, Albert. Albert, just know, Albert. She was thinking about somebody else that whole time. If it don't come back quick like that, if you don't be like, what's my name? Charles. Just know if there's a oh, ooh, Thomas. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Them first three oohs were her going through who she was really being passionate with. That's all I know. Enjoy the day, man. Have a fantastic Juneteenth. Look up the history of Juneteenth, see how it was, see how it affected our country, see how freedom really spread slowly across our country because they didn't have social media. We wouldn't have a Juneteenth if we would have had Facebook, but that's okay. We would have had Twitter. We could have just been like, yo, somebody could have just posted, yo, we good. And then it would have been okay. But look into the history of it and let today be a great day. If you get to happen to have the day off, man, let it be a day of reflection, but relaxation, man. Don't put yourself in a whole bunch of stress. Sometimes we get a day off, we try to do everything, man. Just chill. It's okay. Just relax. Yesterday was Father's Day, man. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers. I don't care what kind of father you are, good father, bad father, whatever. Remember, you only got in that situation because you had sex with a mother. So you are technically a mother. Well, you know what I'm talking about. I'm out, fellas. Peace.